What's going on guys, Fletch here from Ultimate Halo, welcome back to the channel. Just a reminder, I'm giving away 5 4-day passes for PAX West in Seattle, which starts Friday the 30th of August. It's a super fun time, you get to play many games before they come out, so if you can make it, make sure you go to the links in the description. Some of the tweets you need to retweet and follow, just make sure you go do it. It's all of Ultimate Halo's pages, and you get 5 times to win an entry. Completely free, no catch, just go do it, and you might potentially be able to see me and the rest of the Halo community in action. Enjoy the video.
Ultimate Halo.
The nature of Halo has always been one of the most fascinating elements of the franchise. Stepping out into alien worlds has always been captivating. Exploring untouched worlds engages your imagination into why everything has its place when you see something from afar that nature has not formed on its own accord. You start to think about the stories, the purpose, and the meaning behind its existence. A quote that I think encapsulates this perfectly, which Halo fans know all too well, is the famous line from Cortana on the second mission of Halo Combat Evolved.
This cave is not a natural formation. Someone built it, so it must lead somewhere.
Despite the quote being blaringly obvious, it isn't intended to be a pointless piece of disposition. It's supposed to reaffirm to the player that they are not alone in their thoughts. The highly intelligent AI and you are both mystified by this ancient alien structure, and as such it heightens your urge for exploration. But what exactly makes these worlds feel alive? This is precisely what I'd like to talk about in today's video, and explain what exactly I love about Halo's world building and where I think it can improve, especially in terms of the wildlife, because I think it's something Bungie has dabbled in the past, but very infrequently, and I think it's a shame because it would have lent so much more to the immersion of these amazing environments that they previously forged. Starting off in closed corridors and opening you up to expansive environments has almost become a Halo party trick over the years. Halo CE had you trawling through the narrow decks of the Pillar of Autumn to then crash land on the expansive environments of Alpha Halo to then explore a huge, unseen ring world which blew players away on their first visit. Halo 2 then had you in orbit above Earth on Cairo Station to then descend towards the large city streets of New Mombasa, and Halo 4 had you on board the Forward Dawn to then crawl out of the wreckage to see arguably the most jaw-dropping landscape in all of the worlds we've seen in this amazing franchise. These are the moments that stick with you as a player, but when you're in these worlds, what is it that makes you want to continue your expedition? We all find different reasons, but for me personally, it's to uncover the meaning behind these alien worlds and its secrets, to escape reality and transport myself into the unknown. Recently I've been playing a game that's really captured my attention and put all of this into consideration, which is the fan-made Halo SBV3. What the creators have cleverly implemented is the Blind Wolves, which Bungie initially developed in the early stages of Combat Evolved, which seemingly disappeared from the launch version of the game. What I love about them is how they go about their own business. They make the world feel more alive, but when you open fire against them or you get them mixed up in a crossfire, they retaliate and start to attack back. The reason I like this so much is because it makes you feel like you're not in control of the world that you're in, that a slip or error could cause you and your very surroundings to turn against you. It's a real shame these weren't fully implemented in Halo Combat Evolved, as we did get to see them in the E3 trailer in June 2000, which showed both the Blind Wolves and the strange Thorn Beast as wildlife that inhabited the surface of the ring world. Then it came to the final release of these worlds and they sorely lacked these additional pieces in the environments, meaning that they didn't quite feel as alive as they potentially could have. Unfortunately, Halo 2 was very much of the same, although there was a beautiful scene in delving below the ground level of Delta Halo where you were transported into a forgotten aquatic world where the marine life was plentiful. In both Halo 2 and 3 we got to see a bird-like creature that was a quad wing. It was pretty passive, out of the player's reach, which did add a level of immersion to a degree, but it never imposed any threat or any engagement at any time. Then in Halo 3 ODST we saw dead zebras on the ground in Uplift Reserve, which helped sell the whole animal sanctuary idea, but unfortunately we never got to see any living ones, just to bring that extra piece of life into the world. Halo 4, there wasn't much, but in Halo Reach is where I believe the franchise started to take a positive turn for environmental storytelling. I remember walking down the hills to locate the beacon, to then progress when all of a sudden some moa flock in your direction as something has spooked them. It sold to me that the planet Reach was living, breathing, it was a planet full of life, and I wanted to explore more around the corner to see exactly what it was that scared them. Once you proceed through some abandoned buildings, you find yourself in quite a tense encounter with some civilian farmers to investigate the strange happenings that's going on in this rural environment. After receiving some word of some strange happenings going on, you proceed further to a farmhouse when you find 2 Marines that have clearly been tortured, then killed. These 3 elements, the mower, farmers and the tortured Marines, all lead you, the player, to start asking questions. What the hell has been going on here? You hear some rumbles, a creature darts from one side of the building to the other, and you find out eventually that it's the Covenant. This is some of Halo's best environmental storytelling in my opinion. It's not just the answer of what is going on, it's the build up and how you get there without having to explicitly put it into words or writing for the player to uncover. And later on in the game you actually stumble across some Gueta which are extremely dangerous, to the degree that even some Covenant forces are having a difficult time simply holding them off. It makes you feel out of control, and depending on what difficulty I found myself on, I found myself approaching the encounter differently. So on easy I'd be going all in and fighting them, on heroic or legendary I'd be trying my best to sneak past them as they were just too much of an ammo and health drain to risk going into my next encounter. Now to finish off our examples, Halo 4 honestly didn't have much wildlife that springs to mind, and Halo 5 actually had quite a lot, from the bugs on Genesis to the swarms of drones on Sanghelios and space whales on Fathom, which are actually really good examples of how 343 made the worlds feel that bit more alive. Unfortunately, they didn't use any of this for environmental storytelling, but it did add the more immersion to the maps that I guess I'll take over just nothing, I suppose. So it's definitely a bonus, and I actually do commend 343 for trying, because it's one of those things that does take up more time and assets. Now it's time to tackle the elephant in the room. Halo Infinite. Oh boy, there are so many opportunities here. We've all seen the announcement trailer and it's absolutely teeming with life, with the deer and the rhinos being a huge focus. So you as the audience, tell me exactly what is telling the story in this trailer. It's not the Master Chief, it's certainly not the Marines, it's the world, it's the environment and those that inhabit it. It's also not just the animals, it's the foreigner sentinels that are scouring the sea and sky, creating a feeling of excitement and wonder. Too often in modern video games, they hold your hand and tell you what's happening in the world, but I don't think Halo needs to do this. I think it should actually step away from this kind of storytelling and use the tools it's already got at its disposal. I'm actually a huge Legend of Zelda fan, and the Breath of the Wild was a masterclass in this. I didn't think it was telling me exactly at any one time what was going on or where I need to go. The world would lead me as I started to take note of my surroundings. Subtle cues gave me a nudge without making it too obvious to the degree that I felt like I was being treated like an idiot. So what examples would I suggest for Halo Infinite? Well, that's an excellent question, my friend, and also leave your own ideas in the comment section down below. But one thing I do want to show is the footprints left on the ground from the rhinos. I think small things like them littered about the environment could lead you to somewhere that could capture the player's attention, give them the idea to lead themselves in a certain direction, to hopefully find some sort of foreigner structure, to find some secrets to the world, or uncover a mystery to let the player uncover the story, not for the story to uncover itself to the player. I'm a strong believer that making the player feel intelligent and in control of their actions strengthens their decision to connect with the world, but it's also about them making feel cautious. Exploring unknown territory can make them feel anxious and allows them to make considered decisions, but that's entirely my choice whether I want to do that or not. If I want to explore an area and jump in headfirst, that's fine, but then the consequences are mine to deal with. So let's say some of these animals turn hostile, that's my fault, I need to deal with that. But if I want to take my time, pace myself and keep it silent, then I should also be rewarded for that at the same time. Wildlife in Halo is an extremely exciting prospect. If all goes to plan like we saw in the trailer in June 2017 and it all becomes reality, I think it's going to be the closest we're going to be into being immersed in the Halo ring that we've ever been, and I couldn't be more excited for that prospect. But the inhabitants of the world are going to be a huge factor in making sure non-spoken stories are told in the world's own living, breathing character. Genuinely, I think this is such an exciting prospect. I want to know what you guys think. How do you think Halo Infinite should tackle environmental storytelling? Let me know in the comments section down below. Once again, as always, my name is Jack Fletcher. Make sure you follow the links to win a free 4-day PAX ticket this year, and I will see you next time on the one and the only Ultimate Halo.
Subscribe now to Ultimate Halo for more unfriggin' believable Halo content.